Hey, this is Guido, and I am here to show you the future of ABM training, or at least the future of making it a lot better than it is right now. We are working on the optimized syllabus. We've done a good job with that. When we have the kids, the trainees at the squadron, from the time they step in to the time they leave the squadron, we're pretty good with the syllabus on filling up those hours and getting them the training that they need. But what happens is we hand them all these books. We give them their 8 hours of training in the classroom, in the squadron, in the FMTs, in the MU2. Then we hand them their books and we send them home and we tell them to get better. We've been doing that for 50 years. That's been the exact same way. The optimized syllabus came along and we did a lot of great work. But it's all concentrated, for the most part, on what they're doing in the squadron. And the big idea that we had for training outside, for leveraging all of the time that they're not in the squadron, which, by the way, is most, or at least a larger part of the time that they are running around in this class. What we have done so far, the big idea is we've recorded some lectures that they can watch at home. And we've given them some tablets, and that's fantastic. And we're downloading a lot of the syllabus items, and they have better access for that stuff at home. But how do they access more repetitions for the concepts and procedures that we are attempting to teach them in this course? And the future is now. This is one of the ways. We just got done running 12 intercepts at home using off-the-shelf software and some pretty bright ABMs pulling this stuff together. I just wanted to make this video and kind of let you see what some of the possibilities of this are. This runs the gamut from full FMT light, where pilots, controllers, virtual. I happen to do my intercepts virtually with the Oculus Rift. I believe the other pilot, Dingo, did it just on the screen, although he may have been virtual as well. And it is a synergy of bringing together multiple different off-the-shelf pieces of software that are already in existence and creating a training environment that is close enough to the real thing to get valid, good repetitions, and they can do it. The students, can do it on their own time. And like I said, this runs the gamut from full FMT light, which is more or less what we're going to simulate or at least show you here, all the way to lightweight conceptual and procedural trainers using gaming technology and this training device every student carries with them, to include their tablet that the squadron gave to them, laptops, phones, things that they have access to so that they can get repetitions on all of the things that we are attempting to train them on, starting all the way down at the very beginning from BMA all the way through the entire syllabus. And if we can get the right pieces of software and hardware so that they have that access 24/7, they are only going to be better. This is not any kind of pitch to replace anything that you're doing at the squadron. This is in addition to give them the repetitions with the building blocks, the conceptual and procedural ideas, so that when they play these games, when they work on these concepts and procedures, they have them down cold. They're better at them when they show up to the briefing room. The instructors don't have to go through basic concepts, or at least as much, and the building blocks are more solid. So I'm going to show you kind of the top end of this, or at least the beginnings of it, of the ability to have, we were using 4 people, 2 pilots and 2 controllers. You could actually get away with 1 controller, but we had an instructor controller, a brand new, the word will come to me in a minute, a brand new controller, graduated is the word I'm looking for, a graduated controller, an instructor controller, and then 2 pilots, one of the pilots. And this is what's interesting about this. One of the pilots actually is a controller. Now, let me digress slightly on this, why I know this works. Because I'm a gamer, and I have been for a long time. And the people that we were doing this with, and I'm going to keep calling it playing a game, but it's a deadly serious game. It's a serious game with serious people with a serious result, making good ABMs, or really any good technical Air Force kind of training can be done with this. So one of the pilots, as I mentioned, is an ABM. I want you to listen to him operate his airplane, his comm, what he's doing. Obviously, there's mistakes all around. There are some limitations in regards to this F-15 cockpit I'm using. He's using an F-18, but there are ways to go ahead and get the TTRs down such that there's less of the errors put into there and a little bit better training. But this really does show the concepts. And the reason I'm bringing up and making a big deal about this is he is an ABM, but he's a big time gamer and he has practiced this. And the only way you get better at these kinds of things, these technical kinds of things, especially in aviation that the Air Force does, is to practice it. But we don't have access to this kind of thing right now for the students. But it exists. Here it is. I'm going to show it to you. So I'm going to show you this mission real quick. Unfortunately, the comm is a little bit hard to hear. You're going to hear me banging around in my office. I'm just sitting here in my office just like I am right now. You're going to hear me banging around, and you're going to hear my voice very loud. So there are some technical things to deal with as far as setup and having the right computer and all that kind of thing. But really, we're just showing you the high end because this kind of training, lightweight gaming technology, conceptual and procedural training can be broken down even to the most basic thing. It doesn't have to be a whole cockpit or FMT simulation. But let me show you this. It will be a little bit hard to hear, but I think you're going to really get the basic idea of how we just did intercepts in our houses outside of the syllabus time, and we got some reps for some controllers. Okay, let's check it out. Gonzo 1, Splash West Group. Okay, so we just finished up an intercept. I didn't show you the beginning of it because I was fuffing around with trying to get the radio set up. Obviously there are some technical items that have to be taken care of, but the point is it's nothing that can't be overcome, and it's an impressive capability. Gonzo's flow 180. Start of the next intercept. Hydra, Gonzo 1 picture. Okay, the two hands are the virtual hands from the controller for the Oculus controller. That's what those two things are there sitting there doing. Nothing. Gonzo reference 180, Angels 32. Gonzo commit. Gonzo 1 targeted lead group, bullseye 18035, 27,000 Fox turns. So a couple things here. There's no bullseye in the Eagle DLC. Downloadable content is what that means. So there's no bullseye on that. The F-18 has it. That's why number 2, Dingo, can give bullseye. I have to actually use bra. I'm just sort of making up bullseyes. But again, in regards to an ABM training, as long as the comm is correct enough from the Eagles or from the fighters, however you want to look at it, that's what we're looking for. Now, we're purposely using some, obviously not some, we're purposely using unclassified numbers right here. That is a concern that we will have to look into. But again, this is more a capability demo than really, hey, let's make an FMT light. But it is pretty amazing. So here we go. Gonzo 1 same, flank northeast, correction northwest. Gonzo 1 splash lead group. Gonzo 1. Gonzo's flow 180, hydro picture. All right, so there you go. You just watched a virtual intercept giving training, on-demand training, training that has an easier access to controllers. There's a lot of ways to set this up. It's a work in progress right now. The Dingo has set up waves of airplanes that come at us. The ranges are purposely a little bit off so that we can do this, out in the unclass world. But the capability is absolutely there and should definitely be delved into. It's something I've been talking about a long time. Dingo's doing great work. I have a partner that I've been working with a company. We're doing things like this, but this is what you are looking for the optimized syllabus. When we talk about on-demand training, leveraging current technologies, mobile gaming, mobile devices, giving them the ability to get repetitions and practice outside of the FMT world or the syllabus itself, adding those repetitions on top so that those concepts and procedures are down cold and we don't have to retrain them, or we solidify those ideas that we give them in their briefings and in the classroom and in their readings with a visual representation of it, and which can be all the way up to virtual reality airplanes flying around with a controller getting access to that training. And it is a amazing capability. It exists now, and the question is, how does the squadron leverage it and bring it to bear for the students? So hopefully you liked what you saw there, and we can continue to delve into the possibilities of this. Again, a demonstration of really kind of the top end of what can be done, but we can break this down and neck this down all the way down to training things like high fast flyer intercepts and cutoff intercepts and tanker intercepts, radar theory, all kinds of things. This is the next step, I think, really, for the optimized syllabus. And unfortunately, General Quast has moved on, but the idea that we can leverage all of this technology that already exists is an absolutely valid and good idea. And we really do need to start digging into this. So thanks for your time checking this out. I do appreciate it. That's all I've got, and we'll be seeing you around the squadron.